Good evening, Facebook Live. I am Angel Amoroso, and I am joined this evening by my lovely daughter, Christina Jade POULOS, for episode 14 of Fuck You, Mick Foley. Now, I know that it says otherwise on our timeline, but if you go on our YouTube at Angel Amoroso Versus, we've covered up that as you can see here, during the holidays, I may have made several mistakes on exactly what episode we were on for whatever reason. You know, now we are up to date, and that's our Angel Amoroso Versus channel. If you want to go there, we have 43 subscribers so far, and this channel is covering all of the episodes of Fuck You, Mick Foley, and also some other episodes from a while ago of you know, some Angel Amoroso Versus action. If you want to go to this channel and subscribe to see all of that. So, a long story short, but I guess I'm making it kind of long, is that I had the episodes out of order, but now they're in order. So now we are at episode 13 of Fuck You, Mick Foley. And we are going to get right into it before we even have anyone join us. But afterwards, we are going to go over into the chat and see who has joined us. We're going to welcome everyone, and if anyone has any questions throughout or comments throughout, please leave them, and we will get to them after all the reading of the nonsense on the message boards is over. So today, I don't think I have to go through the whole explanation of how this isn't a program to harass Mick Foley. It's a program to expose the people who harass us on behalf of Mick Foley. You know. I feel like I have to say it every single solitary time because, you know, I guess I just have to. So, okay. Episode 13. Let's get right into it. And we're going to read comments from the Squared Circle. Talk wrestling. Mick Foley accused of sexual misconduct with underage girl. I swear it says GIR with underage girl. So there you are. Christina, would you like to read this?
Okay. Hang on. Remember her from ECW. She went topless on a show in '93 and did at least one bondage video in 1994. Now, if she was 12 in 1988, then she was under 18 when she was topless at that show. She worked the Tom Robinson benefit in 1990 when she would have been 14, but sure as hell didn't look 14. She claims that Meltzer had sex with her in 1994, which pretty much kills her credibility. How could that have happened? Did he sneak backstage at ECW Arena and bang her in the locker room? Also, that she had sex with Hellwig that year, but Hellwig wasn't even involved with wrestling that year, so how would he have met her? Plus, that year she did a video getting tied and spanked. I doubt very much that she was born in 1976. Almost. You were almost right. More likely somewhere between 1971 and 1975. Right. This link below indicates 1975. This would tie in with her going topless in 1993. So in 1994, she would have been 18 and 19 anyway when she accuses a lot of these guys of this stuff. Okay. According to this, she was born in '69, Foley in '65.
Which video is he watching of me getting tied up and beaten? Because there's so many of them that, how do you know how old I was and which one? I don't really even know which one you watched. So like I really could have been any age for all you know, up to until I was 19.
Okay. So the person who started this thread, I guess they started it, Neil Jung 5, they bring up that this is a different woman. Angel Orsini was
Here
a
we go
bodybuilder.
again.
No, I'm saying it because
Okay.
that she was born in '69, I think.
Yeah.
She was a bodybuilder, fitness model in ECW in the late days. The one making the accusations was there from '93 to '95, making sporadic appearances.
Ooh,
There is also
I like that she is clearing this up. Awesome.
There is also a porn actress called Angel who has been mixed up with her. The only porn she did was the bondage flick called Angel Pays Her Bill in 1994. No sex, just tied up and spanked, etc. Seems 1975 would be the likely date of birth.
Ooh.
Okay. Same girl.
Thank you. I like her.
Those early appearances, who knows what it is.
Yeah.
Same girl, those early appearances and later matches are listed as the same person, different personas. The 3 issue is her look is vastly different in every picture, I find leading to confusion. Edit. Okay, now I'm just confused. I Googled Machine some more and it made it worse. The one in the end days of ECW was born in '69. The one in the early days was 15 in 1990, according to a YouTube video from a tribute show. This is all just fishy and confusing.
How? One is one person and
because it's
the other is the other.
I don't know. I guess it's not clear.
It's
to a
not
lot
confusing.
Of people,
and it's because certain people still haven't cleared it up.
Right. Okay. Nope. At the point that one was in ECW and didn't debut until 1996, she was a bodybuilder when the other one was in ECW. Okay. The one making accusations was by the late 1990s, doing shoot fights in Japan and had put on a shitload of weight. Okay. So they add like some kind of Tumblr and YouTube to that.
Probably not.
Yeah, you're right. On this one, the accuser is a strange one. Something ain't right about her.
Yeah.
That's you, doll.
Something ain't right, all right.
There's an odd channel with videos of her on YouTube, which you have to assume is her uploading videos. In one of them, she is claiming that the adult company she did topless wrestling, boxing, and bondage for used her while she was underage. Now, after the Tracy Lords debacle in 1986, regulations for the adult industry became very tough, and it would have been insanity for any company to use somebody underage for any kind of modeling fetish without checking out their ID thoroughly.
Okay, now I would imagine that this was when we actually put a YouTube up under the name Tara Titanium, and
then it got taken down.
Made clips of videos that were already existing on the internet of advertisements of videos that companies are selling of me when I was underage, that I've been trying to get stopped for a long time. It's just impossible. And the YouTube was up with about a little under 20 videos. And those 20 videos got almost 1 million views in total in less than a month. And then all of a sudden, with no explanation to us, well, the one letter they did send
sent an email
to just inform that they were deleting the YouTube, and we could never use the name Tara Titanium to upload videos or make an account under. And several times they've received letters about how it was actually being used for educational purposes, and it did no good.
Nah.
So even though it's material of me and there was no nudity in it at all, it's nothing that I don't see a whole lot of other girl fight groups put up. But this is particularly, it's known that I'm underage, and I guess YouTube says that I can't use it, even though it's me for some reason. So let's not prolong this and make it about that, because this is about fuck you, Mick Foley, and not about how Angel got fucking railroaded with this stupid fucking apartment wrestling bullshit when she was too underage to, you know, let's go on.
Okay.
Let's fucking go on.
I think she is mentally unstable and just making things up. I cannot see all the Crockett stars coming into Philly in the late 1980s with all the adult rats they had lining up for them, but deciding to sleep with a 12 or 13-year-old. Now, I can certainly believe that indie guys working small shows up there could have, but no doubt saying Flair, Arn, Tully, Midnight, etc. gets you more publicity than Weekend Warriors. As it regards anything around the 1990-1991 period, which was when Foley was working for TWA and other indies, with the way she looked on the Tom Robinson show, it is possible because she certainly doesn't look like a 15-year-old. All right, I think people often get these two confused by the names, as I've heard a couple times over the years, the confusion. But I just want to point out, as someone else did, Angel Orsini, who that pro-fight DB link belongs to, and the accuser here, Angel Amoroso, are two different people.
Thank you. Someone's pointing it
yeah,
out.
The
finally, someone on some board is pointing it out.
From the incorrect alias. I don't like Foley, but this is obviously bullshit.
What makes it obvious? It's obviously bullshit. It's obvious. They know it all.
Why don't you like him? Genuinely curious. I don't know how to accurately describe it. He just comes across as obnoxious. Okay, I highly doubt this. Seriously, fuck rumors. Excuse me. Fuck rumors and gossip sites. Tired of this garbage every day. I hate to judge a book by its cover, but I won't be taking stock tips from that young lady. That vid seems like pure BS. It implies that pretty much every wrestler Meltzer abused the girl. Can't wait for Big Dave to shoot hard on this. Looks like she was the one doing the abuse.
Wow, wait. When was this posted? When was that comment posted?
Which one?
The one that can't wait until Dave shoots hard on this. When was the comment posted?
Well, it says 24 days ago, but from last year. So it was in December of last year.
So that was last year. I'm waiting for Dave to shoot hard too. I'm waiting too.
To be honest, if she said guys had done it in the late 1980s in Philly, which Crockett toured a lot, then yeah, you could believe it. You could believe it. Meltzer's name being brought up just screams nonsense. Whatever, it's a scene. That just screams credibility. Seems like she's harassing him at public appearances by waiting for a payoff. I don't think she's credible. Who said anything for a payoff?
What do they think? I'm waiting for him to open the door and come out with a sack of money and throw it at me.
There you go. Get it out.
All right, get here. This should be enough. This should cover it. Get out of here.
Yup.
Oh boy.
Yup. Can you imagine? Oh, here comes Saint Mick with the
bag full of money. He's gonna pay off his problem.
Silly shit. All right. Seems like she's harassing. All right, no, I already read it. See, they're making. All right.
Just back to problems.
No, look, I have to look into the light because my eyes are killing me.
Go closer.
If she is waiting for a payoff from him, she will be waiting forever. This is a guy who was sleeping in his car some nights to avoid paying for a hotel room, even when he was on top in WWE. When he wanted to leave WWF after the screw job, he left a message for them saying that he was staying at a Quality Inn.
No, more like he was sleeping at Tom Robinson's house in friggin' Clifton Heights.
No.
Seriously.
This is what Will Ospreay was talking about. I don't know. As much as I generally dislike Ospreay, I don't know. This is okay. There's some dark stuff going on, and we're in uncharted territory. We're all trying to find the one thing about people we disagree with or dislike, so we have a reason to invalidate their opinions or destroy their lives. Social media has turned the internet into a circular firing squad. The real monsters are the ones that benefit when we're at each other's throats. Now, just let that sink in instead of you friggin' dragging me over.
Oh, come on.
Come on.
Just
wait.
Resist me.
All right.
Don't resist me.
No.
Don't resist me.
All right.
Don't.
Stop.
It's personal.
All right.
Go on. Come on.
All right. No, but that was an important thing.
All right.
Like, just pay attention.
Just get closer?
All right. The problem is that we, as a culture, tend to hear accusations of sexual assault and go, well, I heard this one time where the accuser was lying, so I'm going to assume all the accusers are lying. And that contributes to a lot of sexual assault, to a lot of actual sexual assaults going unreported. It's a weird attitude to default to, given that we don't generally react to other crimes that way. So to me, The push to believe accusers by default is more an attempt to get these crimes treated more like other crimes than anything else. I don't agree with people thinking that since one accuser lied, that they're all lying. However, it also upsets me if people automatically think that because one person who was accused was actually guilty, that anyone accused is guilty. Because anyone can make an accusation with no merit whatsoever on social media.
That's true.
It is true.
I have no argument with that.
Well,
Some of what he said, then other stuff, as usual, went all over the place. These people, like, I don't know, they get it right, and then they start to get it wrong. It's maddening. It's maddening, and there's so much of it.
I don't understand why innocent until proven guilty would discourage people coming forward. If you have evidence and were actually sexually assaulted, then there isn't an issue. What will happen is the number of false accusers will rise like it's doing, and people will start to disbelieve all sexual assault cases, which is the exact opposite of what that guy is suggesting.
Okay.
Someone asked if you're Millhouse post-transition.
Oh, well, that's a nice
well, at least it's the right hair
observational
color. Some people
joke.
were saying like
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, right. At least they got the hair color right.
I don't like these sorts of people. 1 minute it's a harmless hug or a handshake, then money, and 5 minutes of fame. Get involved and it's sexual misconduct. You know what? I'm not even gonna respond. It's just so idiotic.
Yeah, I'm not even sure who they're referring to.
I'm all for investigating sexual assaults, but this woman has changed her stories around, has had a history of stretching the truth, if not outright lying.
About what? When? About what? Really? What the fuck are you talking about?
We all thought Bill Cosby wasn't the kind of person who couldn't have done the stuff people claim he did, and look how that turned out. But this, I'd say if I was Mick, a libelous slander suit should be in order.
Well, it would be in order if I was lying. Then he would have a suit, but he doesn't. And that's why we're on episode 13.
It's been a year and 2 months.
So, yeah, we're
right.
all waiting.
Okay. So. Someone hopes that it doesn't turn out to be true.
Okay, well
I mean, it's hopeful, but
that's a reasonable comment. They hope it's not
false hope,
but it is. So
all right, Foley is the last person I would suspect. I mean, wasn't all Bill Cosby and all? I mean, a lot of people aren't what they say. Poor girl. All he wanted to do was eat tacos and helps him. Oh, okay. I don't buy it. Foley never struck me as some sort of pervert. What? I read differently on other sites.
Well,
to be fair, did Cosby... Oh, someone said something. Oh, I didn't even see that. I knew Cosby was a monster ever since I saw Leonard Part 6. Oh. Let's see here. Someone added something.
Oh, it looks...
Yeah.
It says, okay, they put up... a match of Jazz versus Angel Orsini from ECW. And then they put up Angel Amoroso versus Yumiko Hotta from LLPW L1 MMA in Japan in 1998. The one that, Angel Orsini says that she did. And then there's a clip of Mistress Tara Titanium on Jerry Springer. And, can you read the comments to next to them? So let's just read the comments.
It was already in the thing. So okay. We're going past this. So I just want to go on the record and thank Lenny. Come on. This is complete bullshit. She's lying through her teeth. Oh, here was where this comes in. All right. Oh, so this is the person who actually started the thread. Okay. I'm thinking this might be more her daughter's doing. She says it is some kind of college.
How dare you, doll? How dare you make all of this up? Go on.
She says it is some kind of
closer for this one.
College project for her kid, although I doubt they would care much for it.
Who?
The video the daughters made on her is highly disturbing, and obviously this woman has a lot of issues. She has told her daughter that her parents and her brother abused her sexually, mentally, and financially. I never said that. I never outrightly said that. Pimped her out to adult video makers, etc. She claims that she has photos of her brother sexually molesting her. That never even happened anywhere in that video. Okay.
Sounds
but
like
doesn't
a familiar spiteful person.
But doesn't want, I mean, you can look at the video. This is never mentioned.
Right.
So
right.
It's someone after me.
They're
ready to fix me. Okay.
Go on. They're gonna fix
me. Okay. But doesn't want to go to the cops because then they would take the photos and she wouldn't have proof to herself that it happened, which makes zero sense. She also claims that her parents have a restraining order against her, stopping her from going to their property, where she says there's a stockpile of footage of her being abused. Her father has now passed away, but her mother still has the order in place, it seems. Guess going to the cops over all this is just beyond her. Where are they finding all this information?
I don't think he was passed away by that time either. So
no, he was.
Oh, okay.
He was.
Oh, so
okay.
They must be really like, you know, they're digging and doing like
but there's no way that they would have got
acrobatics
like that out of what I
come
did.
Up,
okay,
with all of this. Go on.
All right, but okay. Frankly, she comes across, for whatever reason, as having deep-rooted mental problems since childhood. Whether her parents did do the stuff to her which caused that, or they just couldn't cope with her behavior, is anybody's guess. She appears to have had this obsession with the abuse stuff for a few years now, and the Weinstein stuff appears to have pushed her over the edge. So many assumptions here. This is
really, it's like
they've really put some time into this. The problem is she claimed she was forced by her parents to appear in bondage films, topless, wrestling, boxing videos, etc. when she was underage, but they were all released after she turned 18 and are still being sold. So obviously the makers have documented proof of her age at the time of filming. Although her main contention is other people, including her parents, making money off it and not her, rather than being underage. If she was born in 1975, as appears to be the case, she looked like an 18-year-old, and none of the guys would have turned her down with her looks and body back then unless she had told them how old she was. I have little doubt that various wrestlers and promoters would have had sex with her, but this isn't the Grizzly Smith crap of looking for young girls. They would have thought she was 18. Is it possible Foley had sex with her? After leaving WCW in the summer of 1990 and before returning a year later, was when he took on the cult figure status by doing indies mostly in that are for TWA, especially his big series with Eddie Gilbert. So yes, the time frame fits, as shown by her late 1990 video. If she was 15, she looked anything but.
Wow, I wonder who that person is.
See, it has to be someone.
Let's not read too much into
I think
it.
I know.
You know what? Let's not read too much into who we think it is, but you're not fixing anyone. Go on. Okay, go on.
I truly hope.
And you know what you did, so I'll fucking fix you if you fucking don't shut the fuck up and leave me alone. Go on.
No one's throwing threats out. It's just,
no,
you know,
it's not threats. It's a fucking promise. You don't leave me and my family alone, I'm going to fuck you up. That's all. It's a promise. Go on.
All right, I truly hope this isn't true. Based off everything I've seen from the man, it just doesn't seem possible. This obviously isn't true, but you can't base it on how they are in real life versus privately. R. Kelly acts as if he's a saint, but is a known creep. Of course, you're right. Excuse me. But I guess I meant it in the sense that to think of Mick Foley in that way is just too surreal for me to imagine. I wish it was law, where media can't publish this shit till after you're found guilty. You can be innocent as fuck, but people make assumptions, proof or not.
You know, not for nothing, I am not saying that Mick Foley had a fucking warehouse sex dungeon of underage girls like R. Kelly. I don't think I would ever compare this to that in any way. Yeah, I just want to put that out there. That's just not
That's a reach.
When you put it out there to people like that, and you want to try to make them compare it in a way, like, of course, then I mean, that's ridiculous. Why even say that? Like, okay, moving on, please.
Okay.
I'm
Dude is too pure-hearted. I'll refuse to believe this until the day I die.
Okay, well, that's
okay. And someone responded to them. They say, I mean, if he actually did something like this, you would just refuse to ever believe it. Some people choose that.
Yeah,
rude.
That's
that
what
route.
they do. That's what they're all
that all
seeming
row
to
at.
do.
Okay. Considering the charity supports, this is horrifying if true.
And that's what I'm trying to say. If you just listen instead of saying, "Oh, she sounds crazy and she looks nuts," this is what I'm trying to say. That none of the other, like I said, 20 plus people who are on a big poster on my Facebook, who you can see, who molested me when I was younger. I'm not saying, fuck you, fucking Stan Lane, or fuck you, Brutus Beefcake, or you know what I mean. I'm not doing that, and I'm saying fuck you, Mick Foley, because this is the backlash number one that I got from his fans. But I don't see any of those other people trying to be around rape and incest victims, and run on slut projects and do like creepy things that people have noticed is creepy and weird. I don't see except for Bobby Fulton, who thinks he's a fucking holy roller church going man right now, and I'll get into that idiot later. But let's get back to these comments. Go on.
Okay, someone said, seriously, if it was true, it would be horrifying or whatever.
Right.
But it would be far from the first time someone's public persona was opposite of what they got up to behind closed doors. I don't want to believe it. Foley has the reputation of being the ultimate good guy backstage. The women wrestlers all liked and trusted him because he was happily married and wouldn't try to hit on them. We all pretty much assume that a lot of the wrestlers we like are actually pretty scummy behind the scenes, but for some reason Mick seemed like the exception. It's going to be awful if this turns out to be true.
It's odd because other people on other boards that we've read had opinions that
I don't know
they
were
they
from what I read,
people that were there backstage,
yeah,
and they said that he was creepy and used to stalk people like Stacy Keibler and I don't know.
Yeah, there were a few.
Tori Amos for that friggin' rain thing.
Right, I heard about
that. So, some people that actually don't know people and are just assuming off of the personalities of them that they know, and not off of their actual actions, because they've never been around them to actually see them in their actions, and it like as a real person, and not as what they're doing at a fucking public appearance and getting paid for, and they have to sit there and act like the character that is appropriate to what you're going there to see, and they're not gonna be hounding ass during something like a book signing or a convention or whatever. But everyone has different opinions. But people obviously who don't know him have a different opinion and say that he was creepy. And I'm not saying that he was. I wasn't aware of that. I'm only saying what happened with me. I don't know what happened with other people. I don't really, it's not that I don't care, but it's something that I'm talking about. So let's move on with this.
So
drag it out.
This comment can be taken two ways, I guess. It says, all right, so the first way is, he is a Santa impersonator. So it's like, you can't. You can't. But then there's another way. It's like, he is a Santa impersonator. So that's suggesting that it's like, it's creepy,
all in the way that you
little kids sit on your lap, like, it's just, yeah. People would say it's subjective. It's like, oh, well,
is,
you're the problem because your mind just goes right there
no,
or whatever. But it's not.
Do you know
it's just
what I think
is,
the problem
you know?
is here is that a lot of these people that are making these comments on these wrestling boards and Reddit and 4chan and whatever we've gotten to, and even groups on Facebook and everything, is that they listened to only it's like they live in a box on YouTube, and they only listen to a few personalities on YouTube to deliver them information about wrestling or whatever kind of nonsense is going on. So a lot of these people listen to and watch the opinion of a bunch of idiots who were uninformed, who got information off of that being Fuso, and they one spread it from the other to, and that Don Tony one spread it to the other, and they were very insistent upon that their opinions were correct. So I think a lot of these people were under the impression that I changed my story and I said that he forcefully raped me. And that didn't happen. So I think a lot of them are under this impression with these opinions that they have.
I mean, he did.
That's saying
that
like, oh, I don't think that he would ever do this because he's such a nice guy. Like, otherwise, do what? Have sex with someone? Like, because people have sex with other people, and like if you don't believe that he would like brutally rape someone, I'm not saying that. Statutory rape and rape, although not separated too far from law, are two different things. So please let's get back to the comments.
Okay. Even if it's true, people on this sub will dismiss it just like they dismissed WWE covering up Ashley Massario's rape by a military personnel at tribute to the troops.
I heard that, and that was terrible. I mean, I don't know, how do you cover it up, and now where is she and what is she doing? It's not my business, but moving on.
Yeah, not cool, dude love. Someone says, man, kind of gross.
I wonder how much of a payoff that poor girl got for like people knowing that she got raped.
Right. Yeah.
And she was making a company a lot of money, and then she just disappears. And what happened to her? I would like to know if anyone who's watching this knows exactly what happened to that poor girl after she was raped. It was covered up, and now I don't believe she has a job. So, and after something like that, would she want one with that company who would, just act like a brutal rape on her is no big deal? Would you want to work for a company like that? And it is these people who have a history of covering up child abuse with their friggin' referees, with Mel Phillips, with all that, the friggin' ring boys, the cream team, that he was friggin' jerking off on their feet and making all kinds of videos. Oh, yeah. Like, and Linda McMahon covered up for this for years. So, and still it continues with Pat Patterson and molesting people. And, this is not about all of these people, but think about the characters that you thought in the past were very unlikely that you ever thought would do anything like this. And then now in, the millennium, in 2010, blew things up. 2009, it's 2019. So, judge a book by its
truth is out.
You're all judging books by its cover, so judge appropriately. Moving on.
I'm pretty sure this could be from one of the book signings he did at my local mall. It's not.
No, it's not.
Sorry.
It wasn't a mall.
This would break my heart. I've always held Mick on a pedestal. First Jesse Lacey, now Mick Foley. Jesus effing Christ. Jesus effing Christ. Alright, so there's this is the same thing.
Okay, it's just another squared circle. Okay, now this goes on to they move on to posting a video from who's one of our YouTubes.
One of them. Woman accusing Foley of pedophilia, also accusing Dave Meltzer, Brian Pillman, Jim Cornette, Paul Heyman, and many more.
You know, when it's under the age of 16, it's, look it up. It's pedophilia.
All right, I'm not going to go through the comments yet because they should escape for being read, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, so the title should be Woman Desperately Seeking Attention by Making Outrageous and Inconsistent Claims. No, I was just going to make a joke, but I'm tired. Like, I'm just... All right, so far I've seen several ages thrown around. This YouTube video says she was 12. She wore a sign that says she was 15 in a Facebook photo, and she's also said 14 before on Facebook. Hate to say it, but I believe Angel is lying to suck money out of people's pockets during the current climate of sexual abuse allegations against celebrities. Therefore, my video was made in 2014, 2015? It was like made before all this.
How about the ones previous to that?
The ones previous to that was like 2012,
We're not new with
this.
But go
it's
on.
The same shit.
On.
All right. Therefore, it can all be looked up. Okay. Therefore, I can solidly say that I don't trust this woman. Plus, I would blame her parents for letting a 12-year-old hang out around wrestlers. That's normal. But seriously, it appears to me that she's just trying to make an easy buck off of people and doesn't care about ruining people's careers with these false allegations. Obviously, I could be proven wrong down the line, and I will apologize if I am proven wrong, but for now, I don't trust this chick. Something about her seems off.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, proven down the line, at least
that's fair enough.
It is fair. Okay. And it is fair that my parents were fucking horrible degenerates, and they are wrong. Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that's warranted. All right. She put 14 on Facebook. Your mother's put 14 on Facebook.
Share it with us. Like I say, there's that screenshot thing that we all love to do.
No, your sisters.
When we love to prove what we're saying.
I edited that in. I also just reported the video on YouTube. Ooh, it's big man. Report videos on YouTube.
Oh, so in other words, report a video on YouTube.
But why would you
report it? But the comment he just made, why would he report the video if that's the way he felt? Because he said that if he's proven otherwise, he'll apologize. So why would he do something so petty as to report the video on YouTube? And I'll tell you why. Because there was a bunch of cunts like ganging up and reporting the video in massive amounts so that only one person would have it up on their account.
All right,
I'm not going to keep bringing them up.
All right, journalism today is atrocious. Can one journalist do some fucking journalism and actually do some research before giving every single accuser an outlet?
You know what? If one journalist would have done some research, okay, Lucas Weidman, perhaps then it would have been easier.
All right, it bothers me. Wrestling news sites are posting the Foley story, but not this, her mental illness or the story discrepancies, anything for clicks. This really needs to be seen more because people are going to run with the story to get clicks without doing their diligence. That would mean they'd have to do some actual work. Lazy pieces of shit. Zero journalisms.
And that's the problem. No one did their research, and they just went wild with what they heard from somewhere else and never bothered to try to get in touch with me and ask me what the story was. They just reported what they heard off of someone else. And
no, the thing is that they did try to contact, but once you contacted them, they didn't.
People that
not
videos.
No.
They didn't try to contact me at
all.
Stuff. They just.
It was like the one TMZ thing. That's it.
Yeah, and then
they didn't answer.
They didn't. He never. That's why I said Lucas Weidman is like, all right. When people said, "Well, TMZ will contact you," and then the douche never gets back to me. So I guess him and his boss, talked to Mick Foley first, and as so many other people.
I mean, yes, it's an assumption, but like, why?
As so many other people
else
were
want
discouraged
new.
away from
Okay.
it. Of course they were.
No. We live in a world of unlimited outlets where Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, and Facebook decide the truth based on metrics and retweets rather than facts in journalism. All it takes is that first snowball of 100 or so people becoming interested, and it's a lost cause to argue against a connected and instant network of idiots. Well, they're right. Journalism is so shit nowadays. Don't think that new Ghostbusters movie looks that funny. Well, you're just a... Alright.
Oh, gonzo journalism.
Let's see. Alright. I think the fact that she's including Bobby Eaton on this is the most laughable aspect of it.
Why is that?
So some people think it's Dave Meltzer, and now they're saying
now it's Bobby Eaton. That's a new one that comes up as being laughable.
Right. Wouldn't you be proud too if you spent a night of passion with Bobby Eaton? No. Let's scroll down here. Okay. Especially with a guy named Beautiful Bobby Eaton. Okay. It's not funny. I was 7 when I got Alabama jammed by Beautiful Bobby. I don't know what that means, but whatever age you are at 7, I don't think you should be getting Alabama jammed. I don't know what it means, but, you know. I'm firmly against victim blaming and playing the where's the proof card just because it is just, or because it is someone you like, but what the fuck? Her story seems all over the place. Well, that's it. Wrestling has had a good run, but Twitter tells me to believe every accusation of sexual abuse, so I guess everyone here must be guilty. Rest in peace, wrestling 19th century to 2017. No, the day Becky Bayless comes out with some story that she was used for years, that will be the end of wrestling.
Oh, so in other words, if Becky Bayless said something about it, it would be valid, but because I'm saying something about it, it's somehow
because it can only happen to one.
Because we really have
that's it.
We really
one
have
is the
reputations that really
further.
differ from
one
each
is
other.
Where we stop the
exactly
abuse and
right. Like the one is that we consider that abuse, but this one's not abuse. This one's the exception. Okay, go on. Someone actually said that I was the exception.
Oh yeah. Okay. Nah, the public doesn't take it seriously enough to care much, especially a story from ECW. And that's why. The only thing Cornette abuses is Sprite cheeseburgers and Vince Russo.
It's actually Diet Pepsi Sprite. Where are they getting Sprite from? But whatever.
Don't forget about that Bucky Beaver looking motherfucker. I don't know.
Who are they talking about? This is the second time I've heard about Bucktooth people in a video, and I don't know who they're talking about.
All right, if the person that's being accused, I don't know if this has anything. All right, if the person that's being accused, like a Spacey, Weinstein, Louis C.K., had a lot of people coming forward with evidence that I can understand those claims. It's just the single person accusations without evidence that just don't add up, like this one on the wrestlers. George Takei from some model in the 80s and decapitated. That case went from kidnapping to gang rape. I don't know, that was all over the place. All right, anybody who lived in Philly in the late 80s and early 90s and was into wrestling knows Angel.
Oh.
She was your typical 80s ring rat. Her mother was a ring rat too, and they would go up and down the East Coast and try hooking up.
It's my mother.
And
it was my mother.
And hook up with as many wrestlers as they could. And Angel was notorious for bragging about her cock count.
Oh,
my friend went to elementary with her. He's born in 1969. Okay, who is this he?
Lord. Is that your friend? Really?
Was your friend born in 1969?
It just says
right,
he went to elementary with me, was born in 1969. So if he went to elementary, wait, all right. Go on.
Same grade. So she had to be born in 68, 70. You had to be, doll. How did I not know this about you? All right. The thing is, her mother, how dare you lie to me about your age?
Sarah.
My own mother. Okay. The thing is, her mother taught her the boys like them young. She was right. Okay, if she was right, then what the fuck are we talking about here? What is the big idea that this is not real? Like, all right. and would go around saying she's
Jeez.
10 years younger than she was, and Angel would trim off 5 years her own age because it got a pop out of many of the boys that they could haul in some teen ass. Between the booze, the lines of coke, and the years of banging every wrestler, she could get her legs wrapped around. I think she now actually believes she was younger than she was. What? Alright, like many of the ring rats who fucked their way into the biz at the time, she didn't make it big and was spit out when her looks faded, and now her claim to fame is being a burned out former wrestler whore. No doubt she's bitter and depressed about it and very regretful. Her glory days of swallowing wrestlers' cocks are over, and she's targeting the one guy on her list who isn't dead or broke. No, it's because he works for a rape and incest group. And
there's so many things that
he can't admit to something that is.
You know what? I mean,
like just
my mother. I mean, where are you getting this fucking story from? My mother. You know what? I don't even think I'm gonna give that one time.
You're not even targeting the one. I mean, it says in freaking your cover photo, like all these guys.
No,
it's just
you know what? I'm not gonna dissect that one and give it time. Because
all right, let's see. All right, she seems to mix up her age a few times with the Foley story. 14 and 15 mixed up, and someone said 12, but I don't see that. Yeah, neither do I. I don't.
Yeah,
I thought I was seeing something wrong.
You know, the thing is that on my Facebook, it says my sign says 12 to 15, but I did not actually make that until January 1st. So until the turn of the year. So these comments wouldn't be in reference to the sign on my Facebook, even though the Facebook one says 12 to 15. So I don't know. I don't know.
No.
We'll
all right. So she's been brought up before on the 605 Super podcast. If anybody
is that Tom Robinson's show?
That
I don't
listens, remember, she's the girl Tom Robinson said he dated that lied about her age. Apparently, everybody believed it looking at her body or something because she was very well developed at a young age.
Tom Robinson said I lied about my age? Really? Well, we're going to have a talk with Tom Robinson then.
Okay, and of course Lawler is the first pick she got with somebody, Christ. Is this also the underage girl Raven was supposed to be having sex with during the ECW heyday, and her sister had to come and drag her out of the room as she told everyone she was 18? I don't understand why she wants to call other people out as being scumbags when she's the one who repeatedly lied about her age. I mean, how many people are going to card every hot girl at a bar who seems interested in them? Well, isn't that the job of the... That's like a specific kind of job.
Doorman.
You have one job. All right.
No, but that's...
Yeah. I mean, it's just the way it is, though. I mean...
If people understood...
Why is it a surprise?
Understood how the groups were back then and how, you know, when everyone traveled with each other and when we went to bars, like... people really didn't get carded, and all these stories that you're hearing about, I lied about my age and I hung around this one other girl who also lied about her age. Like, no, none of that's true. And if for my friends that I did hang around with at the time who were watching this, like, people were saying like, oh, I hung around one young girl and we used to put tons of makeup on our face and act like we were older and stuff like that. I hung around at 5 to 6 varying different grown women in their late 20s to late 30s. So I don't know where they're getting this story from. But moving on. I'll talk about them later.
Okay. Did someone just take a wrestling promo as an admission of guilt? Okay, someone pushes hide button. Remember, folks, listen to and believe women always. I don't know if that was sarcastic or... Okay, someone's comment was deleted. I wonder what that said.
Well, it should be sarcastic because no one's saying to believe people always.
She was just born in early 75, so it seems unlikely. So whatever comment that was deleted. So maybe they were on your side.
Of course, because that's the way it works out.
Okay, it would be more believable if she didn't include literally everyone under the sun. There's like 20 to 30 different people here. What, did they have a freaking Royal Rumble in her hoo-ha? So,
well, when you all want to call me a ring rat,
well, maybe you want to read the comment above where her and her mother went down the East Coast.
Yeah,
and
what do you
screwed
think
every,
it is that ring rats
and we're proud of it.
I don't know what.
Maybe you should go back up there. Okay, I'm a bot. Blue. Blah, whatever. I believe the term you're looking for is ring rat. Okay. Yeah. Whoever made these videos and claims she should get AIDS.
Oh, well, that's a beautiful
that's
thing
cute.
to say.
Yeah, that's cute. Oh,
that's cute.
That's cute.
They hope I get AIDS. Ooh.
Me too.
In my current life, because
oh man,
this stuff happened when I was a child. So if you wish that on me, you wish that I got AIDS when I was a child. But I'm a fully grown adult, and I'm married, happily married with a family. I'm not poor as shit like these people want me to be, and I'm very happy with myself and my surroundings. I don't have AIDS, and you know, hopefully someone in your family will experience the things that I've experienced in my life, and maybe they'll get AIDS, and then you'll have to deal with that, and then you'll see how insensitive your fucking comment was there. So moving on.
Uncalled for. Okay, wait. Wasn't this already known? I thought it had come out that some underage girl was essentially passed around the WCW locker room. This could get very interesting if this starts to pick up steam with the bigger media outlets.
Well, why can't it be interesting now? Because it's not on the bigger media outlets? Because you're just talking about it?
Right. Because it's not being covered by those things. Then it's bullshit. It's total.
Yeah.
It's out there, man. All right, someone says fire.
But if it's not being covered by the bigger media outlets, don't you kind of wonder why? If it's just floating around like wrestling media and you're not seeing it in like mainstream media, like other people's cases that I more recently found out about that I won't give name credit to or anything, but I did see several posts on Twitter about another female situation who's having tons of problems with Dave Meltzer and his opinion towards her situation and how she got raped. So, and I don't think he should have anything to fucking say to that girl about her situation, and he should worry more about his own. But what are we getting here to? Let's see.
I mean, we can
Survivor Series Square Circle. How long have we gone so far?
147, minute 47.
No, I mean in actual
in general,
time.
We're almost at an hour.
Almost at an hour. Okay. Well, let's see who we have joining us so far, and see who if we have any questions or not. Let's see. Carmela Pamphil has joined us. Welcome, Carmela, and thanks for joining. Carmela was the head of the Wrestling Radio fan club and Squared Circle fan club that we went to Memphis with in 1988. I don't want to tell the whole story. I'd like to talk all about this later, but and a very old friend who knows me for a long time. So when you hear these stories, I hope you're entertained by the people who are getting it all wrong. Kay Meady has joined us. Thanks for joining, Kay. Sam Moxley joined us. Thanks for joining, Sam. Evan Romano joined us. Thanks for joining, Evan. Lee Platt joined us. Thanks for joining, Lee. Rick Jimenez the Alba III joined us. Thanks for joining, Rick. Christina Jade has joined us. Thank you so much for joining.
Of course.
All right. And yes, good evening, Rick. Gary Johnson joined us. Thanks for joining, Gary. Sean Rattray joined us. Thanks for joining, Sean. George Tanay has joined us. Thanks for joining, George. And Owen Raksha joined us. Thanks for joining, Owen. Crystal Thompson joined us, and Cecil Thompson, that means Cecil joined us. So thank you for joining. And God bless you, Omen. Let's see. Hopefully, Sean, you'll get your focus on there. Joe Cohen joined us. Thanks for joining, Joe. Jay Pizzle Rogers joined us. Thanks for joining. Mike Abbott joined us. Thanks for joining. Justin Doan joined us. Thanks for joining. Teresa Clark joined us. Thanks for joining, Teresa. This was actually one of my best friends back in the 80s, 90s, and hopefully still I consider. And she was not an underage girl putting on makeup, trying to look older than she was. That didn't happen. Justin Drysdale joined us. Thanks for joining, Justin. Ralph DeLucio joined us. Thanks for joining, Ralph. Joseph Narniello joined. Thanks for joining. And he says, "What's up, Amoroso?" It's hate, Amoroso, remember that. And then he had Joe made a comment. "I heard Foley gives girls pills and booze, then takes advantage of them." Maybe he's gotten creative in his old age. I don't know.
Perhaps.
But we're at about 55 minutes. I'd like to, instead of read more comments, because we've gotten the opinion. I'd like to go back to my Facebook, if you could log into my Angel Amoroso Facebook and go to the Wrestling Bitch group. And
we're there.
Okay, well, go to the Wrestling Bitch group. And what we're going to do is view a video that was shot from a guy's show. Let me remember his name. I think it's Vandango or something along those lines. So after we heard all these idiotic opinions on stuff, we're going to go to an opinion from someone who's actually in the wrestling business and listen to what he has to say on the subject of the Mick Foley protest and the video that he viewed, and we're going by it now. We should get to it. I don't know why we're not getting to it quicker. But I am just going to put it out there. I didn't think that was that far down, though. Is it?
I didn't think so.
No, it's not that far down. And for anyone who's in the group, it's about these. For anyone who's in the Wrestling Bitch group, and I know that there it is. You can see it. Here we can watch it right now. So just click the large and let's all watch from the beginning. Let's rewind that there. And we'll talk about Val Venus. Yeah. It's going to talk about what he thinks about the protest.
That would be a heck of a match. It says this match is heavily rumored to take place in 2015, but it didn't come up. It's because Shawn Michaels didn't want to come back into retirement, but HBK made his in-ring return, and they're saying that they're going to put him against AJ Styles.
That would be a good match.
That would be a WrestleMania match.
Yep.
Shawn Michaels, that guy's legit.
That's my
I know.
dude, you got it down.
I know the song. I know your song, and the song, and all the songs. I was a kid, my dad, let's see, like my stepdad, he loved wrestling. He watched wrestling all the time. That's why I'm like, yo, stepdad, you could be hanging out with the wrestlers. Where you at? Where you at?
Right?
You
Hey, did you watch these fights last night?
Nunez? No, I didn't. There was a UFC last night?
Yeah, bro. Apparently, I didn't get to see that fight with Amanda Nunez, but apparently she just destroyed Chris Cyborg. Yeah.
Dude, what about Michael Cheese at 1-2?
What's that?
What?
Yeah, around 2:56 seconds. Corey Anderson took his win.
Damn, dude. Nobody was undefeated, though. John Jones completely kicked the crap out of that guy. Yeah. People are like, oh, faded history. You used to watch a lot of wrestling. You remember this guy?
Who's that?
Some guy named Faded History says he used to
We're
watch a lot
getting
of
to
wrestling
it.
as a kid. Definitely remember Val Venis.
Perfect. That's what I like to hear right there. What else do they say here? David Knight probably mentioned.
Yeah, dude, I always get this guy anytime that you show up on here. There's always this one guy. Says New World Order of the Time broadcast. Look what he says right here. It says WWE Hall of Fame is filled with pedophilia. And I'm just all like, what? Really?
Pedophilia, really?
Really? Like this guy?
I wonder what facts he has to back that claim up.
There was it was a couple months ago. I think the last time I talked to you on the phone on the show, some guy had called in or whatever right after I had talked to you, and he was like talking about a bunch of different wrestlers and some like virgin princess or whatever, and I'm just all like, are you kidding me, dude?
Oh, wait a minute.
You know,
wait a minute.
This
isn't that one that girl went out and sat out in front of that book signing with Mick Foley. Is that one?
That's the one. That's the one.
Yeah, that shocked the crap out of me, bro. I watched that video. I don't know how true that is, and I can't say it's not true. All I can say is I was shocked like crap when I saw that. Whoa! I was like,
yeah, like a lot of people.
Like I know these guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I know these guys, and that's why people are freaking out.
Yeah, like man, I watched that. Yeah, that was a little nerve-wracking. That was watching that thing. I was like, oh my god, this can't be for real.
Yeah, I didn't think it was for real.
But the way that girl was outside, the way she was talking, and like I said, there are people with mental disorders, but she didn't sound like she had a mental disorder to me. She sounded pretty convincing.
She sounded like she knew what she was talking about.
Yeah. So I don't know, man.
I mean, there's been a lot of guys on YouTube, and that's one of the main things is because, or that I like to do is like look at some of this stuff because I like attack the head of conspiracies head on, and when people put that shit out there, I'm like, yo, bro, like, what evidence do you have to say that? Like, like you have something that some girl said, it's just like a replay of what just happened with Kavanaugh.
Yeah, that's a prime example. Yeah,
it's a prime example because I mean we don't have any knowledge. We weren't there. There's literally no way, say, going back in time for us to really understand about that. But
yeah, that's nerve-wracking though, because I gotta tell you, it's one of those things where, and that can happen in any industry. It does. It happens in every industry. But when you know guys, and you've worked with guys, and then you see stuff like that get put out, I'm not gonna lie, man, it weirds you out. It weirded me out when I saw that. Like, here's, not that I know of. I don't know whether it got swept under the rug or not. But the reality is, without facts proving that actually happened, I mean, falsely accusing people is just as bad as someone actually engaging in pedophilia. Or what would you call that, I guess? Child rape? Not child rape.
They call it child exploitation now.
Child exploitation, yeah, well, whatever it is they call it. But yeah, I mean, someone's lying.
Somebody's lying. I mean, I don't.
Do you know what I mean? So I look at both crews and just go, okay, I'm just not going to trust either again until we find out the facts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you, dude. Robin said something to me. She says, I remember you back in the day when you had gorgeous golden flowing locks.
Yeah, I'm glad I got rid of those.
Okay. Pretty sure we got the point across there. So that's an opinion from an educated Val Venis, no matter what you want to think about him as a wrestler or whatever. I'm not sure. But, people who actually work with these people look at the situation, and that's the opinion that they have, because they know to look at it not as a mark, and look at it, with a real set of friggin' eyeballs in their head as to, like, they know what's going on and what surrounds them in their own business. So they're not going to question it so much, but they're also not going to take sides. And his unbiased opinion was very appreciated, and I'm glad that he did take the time to answer that while he was in the middle of his long interview promoting his new podcast and website and all that stuff. And if you're interested in the business of Val Venus, look him up and you know, maybe get to his YouTube over there and give him a few views and some subscribes or whatever. No, I might. I'm interested in anybody who's got an impartial opinion to, you know, the subject. Oh, look, Timothy Tim has joined us. Thanks for joining, Tim. Anybody else join us before we leave? Because we're going on over an hour. Thank you, Justin. Justin just said, I stand with Angel. And I appreciate that very much, darling. And Zoltan, Ken Jugan has joined us. Thank you for joining us, Ken. I see you just joined us, so I hope you'll hit rewind and watch from the beginning. I actually hope that our voice was picking up because we just realized the volume was down for a while. So I hope everything was picking up. If not, it's fine. We'll just go back over it and hope that everyone hangs in there with us. But no one said that they couldn't hear it, so I guess it's all good to go. But anyway, we went over an hour and we don't want to go anywhere. So thank you all for joining us on episode 14 of Fuck You, Mick Foley, now that we have that fixed. If you'd like to get in touch with me on any other forms of social media, I'm on Twitter on Angel Amoroso 1, Instagram Angel Amoroso for you, YouTube on Angel Amoroso Versus, Facebook on Angel Walsh, Angel Amoroso Versus, and just Angel Amoroso. And I also have a fan page, Crazy Cunty Clown Posse, CCCP, which is me and Christina. So you could go over there, give that a like. That's got some material on it that our Facebooks don't normally have on it, with videos and whatnot. And also I have groups, Wrestling Bitch and Comment of the Day, and you can send a request there, and you know, I'll search it over and approve you or disapprove you, because they are private groups now. So otherwise, if you'd like to see our other YouTubes and see the rest of some of the stories that I did not get to complete because Facebook Live cut me off a few times, I'm at Angel Amoroso Versus. So go over there and you can see some stuff that I didn't get to yet if you want to catch up ahead of this story. And also Maramoo YouTube. Go over there for some mixed videos, and also Dirty Dead Doll Productions, which is both me, Christina's channel, with a mixture of different videos of wrestling, movies, and live auctions of things that are on sale through our eBay and other sources. If you would like to get in touch with Christina Jade POULOS.
My name is Christina Jade POULOS.
Okay, and then on that note, we'd like to thank everyone for joining us again, and we hope you join us back for the next episode of Fuck You, Mick Foley. And until then, have a nice night and a nice life. Nice life. I'm not going to touch that because when it does the dictionary,
I know.
Good night.